streaming now, and hopefully that will.
I'm gonna hit refresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we live?
Well, hang on. My thing still says waiting for Mesa, but
you see it on your screen, man?
I'm waiting. Hang on. No.
Oh, I see live. Yeah, I'm on YouTube Gaming, and I see us now. There it is. I'm seeing it.
Let me refresh.
That link that I sent? Sorry, stream.
I'm not in the link. I'm actually just on your generic YouTube Gaming
channel.
Oh,
there we go. Okay,
and it's there. I'm seeing it.
All right. Yeah. It obviously set up. Let me edit the title and everything. Sorry, guys. We are...
So do I need to switch that key? Because the one that I was on is still showing just waiting for Mesa.
No, we're good. We're good.
Go. You need to just go to like his YouTube Gaming channel.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's have to set it up from there from now on, guys.
Momentito.
Just
we got it. Yeah.
Episode 245, right?
245.
245. Yep.
Radio 245.
Mesa Sean.
There we go.
Do one more thing.
Live now. There we go, baby.
Live. Hey now.
There we go. Nice. All right, good. That works.
Took a little bit, but we got it, boys. We got it.
All right, so that old link was not working then, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think whatever you were... I don't know what that key was, man. That was maybe to something else, but...
It was the key to that live event. I'm not sure why it wasn't working, though.
Yeah, that is weird.
Really
I don't know if it was because it was time-gated, Shawnee, but yeah, it was weird.
Whatever. I mean, look, now it's just to your channel straight up, so we're good to go.
Yep.
Okay. Stream health, it says. All right. Let me find it so we could tweet it out then. Yeah.
Is the stream health
Sorry
good?
about the stream. It's a work in progress right here. Let me go to events live now. We'll have this ironed out next time.
Oh, now, now, literally, now that I have that, Sean, that's all I needed was that.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure this is set up. Okay, stream options, make archive to incomplete. No.
Sweet.
It's going to make it unlisted. Okay. Oh, interesting. Hold on. Let me try something real quick.
Yeah, thanks for bearing with us, guys. We're just kind of going through everything here, man. We appreciate it.
This is our first one on YouTube, but once we get this ironed out. Hey, Branson, Chris. Hype. Yeah, we'll... I
am Skolas. What up? Read your email last week. What's up?
Skolas in chat?
I killed you about 20 times. Or so.
You bastard.
You are a bastard.
I'm going to go into YouTube Gaming and find the link, and then I'll tweet it out. Mesa Sean.
All right, let me... Yeah, I'm going to tweet it out to you.
Sean. Okay, there we go.
Did you put a tweet out, Sean? There we go. I see where you're...
okay. Now we're set up. If you go to this link here, chat, it's in YouTube Gaming mode, which looks a lot nice. Hey, Albert. What's going on, sir?
Hey.
Is that the one you tweeted, Sean, the YouTube Gaming mode?
No. Hold on. I'm going to put this in chat right now for us guys. That's for you.
I'm in YouTube Gaming right now myself.
All right. I'm going to tweet this out now, actually.
Oh, you covered up yourself, man. There you go.
What happened?
It must be whenever you text something through Skype, it's going to like put it over your picture. So.
Yeah, oh, does it? Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
Don't do that.
Get rid of that. Get rid of this window. Send us to Bookface.
Bookface.
Book of your face.
Book of your face.
That's PS4 community.
Let's see where recording episode 245.
Work in progress, folks. I think we're ready though. I got to change that thumbnail. Yeah, because you know what it is? I set up live events whenever I do my streams, right?
Yep.
And then let me make sure these folks have the link here.
New sponsor, nice.
Oh, we get a new sponsor too. Oh,
Cassie Underwood.
Cassie, everyone give hype in the chat. Thank you so much.
What up?
What are the new emotes, Sean?
Okay, I put Mark and K-Dub and the Guardian Radio crest. I could change these on the fly when we're depending on what kind of stream. Like if it's going to be a Nightfall Strikes, because I stream the Nightfalls every Tuesday when we're trying to grind for those high scores without cheesing. I set up all kind of like Nightfall Strike-ish type of emotes, or they're called emojis on YouTube. All right, so we got that going. Yeah, stream looks good, man.
Cool. All right. Sure. All right, guys. Well, thank you here for joining us, and welcome here to Sean's channel. For those of you that usually follow us on Twitch, and thank you for all you guys who are always viewers of Sean, sponsors of Sean. We appreciate you guys bringing us in and welcoming us here to Sean's channel. As you know, we've been doing this here for a while, and Sean's actually been posting them here on his channel now for a while. And we said, you know what? I think it's time. It's time for us to make this our home now, right? And do it live here. So yeah, there's all nice. I like those in the chat, guys. Those are sweet. But we got a good one in store, man. Episode 245. We got lots to talk about. Just to let you guys know, too, if this is your first time tuning into a live show, we do this this is the live recording of the podcast. We will probably, now that we're here and going to have a much larger audience, I think we're going to push more to kind of make this even more of a live production here also. So you'll see just kind of awkward silences every once in a while, but that's really just cues for me when I go back and do the editing, just kind of where to put certain things.
To play the music, right? Like that
little pause stuff like that. So
our next segment called Messages from the City.
Awkward silence. It just makes it easier for me.
Next up on the message.
Been doing it for years, and it just makes things simple. And actually, it's very easy now because I just bought a new Mac, so it'll be easy for me to kind of punch that stuff into the stream. So I'll start doing that. Real quick, K-Dub, are you gone? What happened to your camera?
Hang on, I'm working on things. I'm trying to pull up. I'm trying to pull up the rankings from the tournament challenge. So
okay,
give me a moment. I didn't even change my camera. As soon as I minimized a window, it made me go away.
Did you just have it on your phone?
We lost K-Dub. His shoes fell off.
His shoes fell off.
I'm still here.
There he is.
Lee, thank you for the sponsor.
It was just stupid Skype.
Cassie Underwood. And
I hate Skype, by the way.
And that's Skype the other thing, too, I will point out, for those of you, sponsoring Sean now and all that, don't take it to heart or something if we don't shout you out on the stream, because again
I'll try to do it in the chat too.
Right,
we'll do it in I'll do a roundup afterwards.
Right, because we're recording live here the podcast, so we just because it's the podcast, people that are listening to the audio version aren't seeing that stuff, so that's why if we're not shouting you out, that's why.
Right.
I'll be typing in chat, and then afterwards, once we finish recording the podcast, I'll go back and go through everybody.
Hey, somebody type something in chat real quick, because I don't know if my chat is live. I popped it out earlier, and I think
you know what? I just realized I need the new link for the chat. So hold on.
Yeah, I think I got to pop that out.
I got to change it on my because that's the thing. I think this whole setting this stuff up kind of did that. So we'll give us one more minute, guys. I'm going to make sure.
Yeah, John Doe, we still use Skype. I know we haven't done the Discord.
Nope.
How did I do that before?
Chris 371. Hey Sean, you should take some of your sponsor money, invest in Duracell. Rumor has it that their stock seriously jumped up 5% on Friday.
Just for your little event from your Scuff event,
dude.
Buying batteries.
Dude, I won the fucking first bracket.
Did you really, Sean?
Dude, I beat. I'm gonna announce it like when we get into the first part of the thing. I beat a 1 million subscriber channel.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Well, let's hold it for the show. Caleb, real quick, dude. Did you get the chat? Pop out?
No, not yet. No, I gotta find where that was before. Damn it!
If you can do that for me, or Sean, do you have the chat?
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick.
I'm gonna hide, guys. I'm gonna hide our Skype videos real quick because I think Sean's stream key may be there. I just don't want that to pop out.
So how do I share the chat page?
Pop out chat. All right, I got it.
Can you put the link in chat, Caleb?
Yeah. 1 second. Copy.
Yeah, Lee, you know what? I don't even know how to use Discord. I swear I'm terrible with Discord.
Look, the UI, Discord's a great service. The UI sucks balls.
Yeah.
Just gotta say.
Everyone loves Discord.
1 second, dude. I got the copy. Now I gotta go to chat.
A-Train writes something in chat.
So, all right, there you should have it there, Mark.
Yep, got it.
Now I gotta go back to default.
Should do Discord. Lee, your clan does Discord.
Chatbox.
Oh, thanks, console play.
Oh, goddamn. Then I shut the thing down.
Chris, yeah, we just went to a black screen just real quick because they are.
Yep, and there we go.
Hey, Tim.
I want to make sure we had the. And actually, it looks like the sponsors. It'll keep you guys kind of in the little chat box where we have it set up right now.
Sweet.
Give me a minute.
Yep.
Destiny Gaming, we still play Destiny 2 because it's fun. I play PvP with my two friends, C Minnow and
dude.
Versace
I had a
Piper.
ball in Iron Banner this week, and I'll tell you about it here in a minute. But
chat is up. Nice, awesome guys.
Yep, switched it.
All right, slide.
Dude,
There's
and plus I'm having even more fun because one is I fell in love with the Banana Net SR4, and I can't.
Banana. Yeah. By the way,
I felt like the trials version of it now.
I gotta read you. I gotta read you the riot act for a minute.
So here we go.
So
do you want to save it for the air?
No. So I went and was like, okay, I know I have that gun. I went through my vault, which I've complained about vault space because I'm always out of vault space. I deleted the bitch. I deleted it, Sean.
You're fine. Come
Why
on,
would you
man.
delete it, man?
Because I didn't need it. And it was like, what is this stupid gun? I don't need that.
That's
the whole point. That's the reason that I don't ever delete anything.
I think it's really good, man.
That's so funny. All right, hang on. So where's my Skype? Come on.
I'll retweet the Guardian Radio of the new link.
My Skype is being weird.
Guardian Radio.
My Skype disappeared. Sorry. I'm coming.
There we go.
All right, are we ready, boys?
We are ready.
We're half hour late, but we're gonna pull this one off for sure. But all right, so here we go. Guardian Radio. Sean, you ready?
You ready?
Hang on one second. Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Go right as we're starting. Yes. I'm sorry. They didn't have them, darling. Yes, still.
Oh, Caleb's in trouble.
Okay, no.
You are in trouble.
Something my daughter wanted at the grocery store. They didn't have it. Okay, we're good.
Gotcha. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Guardian Radio episode 245. Welcome everyone to Guardian Radio, the first and longest running Destiny podcast on the net. I am your host, Mark Turcotte, and joining me this week from inside his closet, my morning fire team brother, K-Dub. K-Dub, what's up, dude?
I am inside my closet. For those of you that don't know, I have always been inside my closet, and that's where I record from because it's really good sound dampening, as you can see. Mm-hmm. I've got a pretty cool setup in here. If you don't know, I did make a video once upon a time about doing the tour of the closet because it literally is big enough that I can give a tour, which is awesome. I've got 2 mounted screens. I've got cameras. I've got microphones. I've got a giant PC. I've got PS4s. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. And all of our clothing. So, welcome to the closet.
Welcome to the closet.
Welcome to the closet. It's a lot of fun. And holy crap, do we have some fun stuff to talk about, including brackets busting.
Yes.
Brackets.
Falling to pieces. Let's see, in that other voice you hear there, the man who rounds out our trio. From the Queens, or King of Queens, Mesa Sean.
From the heart,
what's up, man?
You always say from the heart of Queens.
From the heart of Queens. There you go.
I'm doing well, guys.
Up,
I just got some breaking news. So Scuff is having a tournament called Scuff Madness, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's a bunch of brackets and it's all these Optic, FaZe, all these huge competitive players. And there's also Nkuch, Triple X in it. Well, the first round was Friday to Sunday. And the Mesa Army beat a 1 million subscriber channel.
Yeah, nice, dude.
You guys crushed it. Because if you buy anything from scuff.com, you don't have to buy a controller. If you buy batteries, they sold out the batteries because they were $1. But every time you use a code, like if you buy 2 items, like a pair of sunglasses for $5 and then batteries, and you use 1 code, it counts as 1 code. But if you buy batteries like 3 times, that's 3 codes. And the Mesa Army went butt loose on this one. So
nice.
We're in round 2. So me and it's against. It'll start tomorrow and go until for the next 2 days. It's me against some Call of Duty Fortnite channels. So if you're a Destiny fan and you want to stick it to the people that switch to Fortnite and everything, this would be a great time too. And then Nkuch, also, he's a good friend of mine too. He made it to the next round too. So if Nkuch wins round 2 and I win round 2, then me and Nkuch get to go head to head again.
Nice.
Which would be great because I mean I love Nkuch. He's a good dude, man. Like phenomenal Destiny 1 and 2 PvP player, but he's kind of in that mode of like he's waiting for the PvP updates to come back and check it out. I think a lot of the PvP streamers, I think they're really going to come back when we get new content. You know, like we get some new maps, but really the Sandbox update I think is going to be huge for.
I think it is, man.
Like more and more when you follow the Crucible developers like John Wisniewski and Christopher Barrett, and they're teasing out these things like the triple kill with Sunshot, or they had a 6-man Iron Banner going, a 6-man I think 6v6 Rat King Fest going on, and it just a lot of fun things are coming. And then they're going to do exotic buffs too, which I'm looking forward to. I tweeted them, how does Sweet Business do? Because I love being annoying Sweet Business guy in the Crucible right now. Where I annoy my teammates and I annoy the enemies because I'm constantly winding it up. But enough of my babble. Let's get the show.
Let's keep rolling here, man.
You guys delivered, man.
So what's up, everybody here? Thank you here for joining us, however you're tuning into the show. Big what's up to everybody over on YouTube, at YouTube Gaming. That's right. We announced it last week, but we are now streaming to Sean's YouTube channel. So you can find us youtube.com/Mesa Sean NY. We'll have the link in the show notes. And we can see the chat already alive over there. We appreciate you guys tuning in. And don't forget, you can find the show on Sean's YouTube channel, of course, on Wednesdays is when that gets posted up over there. And, of course, thank you, everybody who always tunes into the podcast. We appreciate it so much. Don't forget, you can email us, feedback@theguardiansofdestiny.com. It's the best way to get in touch with us. And we love reading your emails on the show, which we have some great ones a little bit later. Don't forget, you can also follow us on Twitter @GuardiansofD. It's another great way to keep in touch with us. One quick thing, too, here before we move on to the bounty, the tournament challenge that we've had going on. I do want to just say a big thank you again to everybody who helped support the podcast. And if you want to be a patron here for the show, you can do so. We have that in our show notes. You can also find it on our website at theguardiansofdestiny.com. $1 gets you listed on the Wall of Guardians. $5 gets you access to EBD Radio, which is Everything But Destiny, where we talk about what else, everything but Destiny. And $7 gets you all that as well as video. And that's how we get ourselves to Guardian Con. Because, again, we are going to Guardian Con, guys. The booth has been purchased. We are going to have a booth again, 3rd year in a row. We have big plans. And hell, man, if some of the things we saw this week with Guardian Con, man, I think we'll be flying the Destiny maybe flag, 2 or 3 towers that will be there for Destiny. So if you're headed to Guardian Con and you're looking for some Destiny content, we will be there, of course. And you can meet us all. And
we're going to give away ornaments.
Yeah. We do have some very good things we will be giving away. Trust me, if you're a Destiny fan.
I'm going to be giving away a Destiny PS4. Destiny 2 PS4 Collector's Edition, sealed, boxed, everything.
That's just one of the giveaways. Don't give it all away. We've got a bunch of stuff.
All right.
But so again, thank you guys, who do that. And those episodes come out on the 10th of every month, so you have really up until the 10th of April to help support the podcast. And again, we thank you guys so much for doing that. But let's move on here to our tournament challenge. And this is now the 3rd year in a row. Now, I know not everybody's sports fans, so we don't need to dive in too much, Caleb, into the sports aspect.
No, we won't. I won't.
But we ran, this is, like I said, this is our 3rd year doing the NCAA tournament. We've had over 100 entries. In the first 2 years, the same guy won those same 2 years. This year, I don't think he's anywhere near the top at all. I think we're looking good.
Well, it's funny. So I get if for those of you who aren't sports fans, just so you know, there's 64 teams. They all are fighting for the same trophy, and they seeded from 1 to 64. They do them in brackets of 16. So a 16 seed has never beat a 1 seed in the history of the NCAA tournament. That happened this year. I am the fortunate person that picked said number 1 team to win the whole tournament. So immediately I'm out. But I'm not eligible to win our prizes anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's a lot of fun. But Mark, I wanted you to point out, because that game happened in Charlotte where you are.
Yep.
Tell everybody what was going on with that situation in Charlotte.
Well, I mean, here in Charlotte, because again, historic, a 16 beating a number 1 seed never happens. They said people left because when you buy a ticket to those games, you go to like 3 or 4 games that day. Your ticket's good to go see as many games that are at the arena. And people just left for that last game because they're like, "What? It's a number 1 against a 16. The 16 doesn't have a chance." People were already at the bars. They're already drinking. Turns out they're watching the game on TV, realize what's happening. They all went storming, trying to get back into the arena, and they wouldn't let them in the arena. And, then, of course, they said even scalpers were on the street corner selling unused tickets for, like, thousands of dollars because this thing was, unbelievable that it was going to happen. And it happened, man, which is pretty awesome. So in terms of, people having a chance at winning this year in our challenge, I mean, people at the top are, people that probably wouldn't be there otherwise, honestly, because a lot of people had Virginia, man, which was a big deal. And don't forget the winner. So if you guys next year, even if you don't follow sports, we invite everybody to take part in this every year. This year, you're getting your choice of one of the Destiny McFarlane figures, including the Saladin one, if that's the one that you want, and a Guardian Radio t-shirt. So we will be sending those out.
So just give a quick update. Where we are as of present is the leader right now in the clubhouse is Taste T, who has also Villanova to win it all.
That's kind of the big...
The next person in line is Michigan Rocket. Homer has Michigan winning it all. And then in third place is the Snurch, who has Purdue winning it all, which is a 2 seed.
There's so 2/3 though, Caleb. Whoa, you're forgetting those other 2 third place.
No, I'm not. Even though Mark is in third place tied, he's got a UNC with a big line through it because they lost as well. So as much as I love the fact that you did really well early, you got crushed last night by UNC getting smoked.
Literally, all I care about is beating you every year because I don't follow college basketball. I don't.
By the way, one notable, I do want to say, our good friend Ibantis is tied for 6th and has Kansas winning it all. Nice. So we're gonna keep an eye on this because it's gonna be a lot of fun. And man, it's just so great. Over 100 people jumped in, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this thing as it goes forward. So.
Did you see, and I hate to turn it to this, but did you see the video of the UMBC guys, the guys who beat the team, what they were doing just mere hours before they won?
Playing Fortnite.
They were playing Fortnite. And they did a FaceTime chat with Ninja I saw yesterday, which is just crazy. But all right, guys, let's get moving on here. We have lots to talk about, lots of Destiny news this week. So let's move on here to our first segment, our new segment that we call Dispatches from the Traveler. All right. Well, this week at Bungie, we got word that the new faction rally is on its way. And, of course, it's going to start tomorrow as we're recording this. If you're tuning in after the fact, it's already going from 10 a.m. Pacific and running all the way until on Tuesday, March 20th. And, of course, going all the way until the following week. What do you guys think of these guns we have kind of entering the pool this time? Does it look like somebody's going to be a front runner this time?
I can tell you right now, guys.
Again.
Future War Cult's not going to win again, man.
No, it's New Monarchy again.
I did a review when these hit the database maybe like a couple weeks ago. Looking at the screenshots right now, the only weapons that are kind of worthwhile are the ones that are going to be dropping from engrams when you cash in tokens, which are the 2 shotguns. You have a New Monarchy shotgun, a Future War Cult shotgun, and then you got a submachine gun from Dead Orbit. But the winning prizes, the 2 snipers and the grenade launcher. All right, grenade launcher. I don't use any snipers right now. But then again, with the next Sandbox update 1.14, where they're trying to get people to snipe more, I might start collecting snipers. I mean, right now,
that Future War Cult sniper looks ridiculous. If you like a clean aesthetic. Like the clean aesthetic, so it's kind of funny how it used to be all Dead Orbit was kind of the rugged bit with the black, and now it's kind of gotten to where New Monarchy is more rugged and cool with the red, and it looks really neat, and they've won the last few. But if you like a clean aesthetic, dude, like futuristic looking, the Future War Cult guns look ridiculous. You gotta like that aesthetic.
But it just like it goes back to perks, man. You know, it's like until they give Future War Cult a good set of weapons to grind for. I mean, I never ever played.
Uh-oh.
For a second.
Yep.
Ice Starter rifle. I never use it. I'm just obsessed with my Manananan. But for the most part, they got to give them good weapons. And I still feel like from an aesthetics perspective, New Monarchy's got the best looking Ghost Shell, Ship, Sparrow, and the armor is just, it's very royal, you know? Dead Orbit's got the whole Marilyn Manson vibe going to it.
Well, doesn't this Dead Orbit sniper, I don't know why, but just looking at it, it gives me like a Black Spindle feel. Just kind of, even though it's not as black as that, just kind of just the way it looks.
A little bit.
At this angle. I don't know.
It's the scope with the long, it does a little bit,
It just kind of feels
It's one of those, you know what? It's one of those rapid fire snipers. So, I mean, it all depends on how the meta changes with when 1.14 hits and it's power ammo everywhere. And for noob tubes like me, which I put the noob tube down. I don't know if you saw the clip on Twitter. I was going main ingredient this whole weekend in PvP and just annoying the heck out of people with a favorite fusion rifle. But I feel like with more power ammo being around, I think more of the PvP pros, if they come back to test out the sandbox, they're going to pull out those snipers. I really want to see what True Vanguard and like guys like MTash and those guys, when they jump back on to test it out, I want to see sniping clips again. Real Crafty, Hush, Slays. You know what? I want to get sniped again. I mean, I hated getting sniped in Destiny 1, but I'd rather get sniped than get Colony.
Well, you hate it in D1 because it was everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's more balanced, then sniping is a lot of fun, and that's the challenge that Bungie has been up against. Is the what people have been wanting and complaining about in D2 it's kind of it's a really hard balance to make. Do you want people just using secondaries, or do you want people using primaries? Everybody wanted primaries, so now here we are at primaries, and everybody's bitching that we're not using our secondaries and our power, and with power, right? But so it's going to be really interesting to see how they do this, and I think honestly, it's the May update that brings the perks in, the 2.0 perks. That's going to really set the gameplay different, I hope.
Well, no, I mean, you're talking about mods, right? Mods have been pushed off.
Yeah, mods. That's what I mean.
They've been pushed. They're not even coming in May, dude. They've pushed them off.
That's not even in May, yeah.
No, that's been dropped off the schedule, man.
Right. That's leading me to think either A, they're really reworking them, or there's a possibility of random rolls coming back, because every poll, every video I've ever talked about, it seems the consensus, a lot of people want random rolls to come back. Then there's a lot of people that don't want them to come back because they want balance. But I feel like for the most part, there's got to be a way they can make it so that we can create something that's going to make us OP in PvE, but still keep some sort of balance in PvP. A big worry I have about the next update is the colony. That is the most annoying thing in the world. And with power ammo dropping, because if you die and you drop a power brick, your teammates or the enemy could pick that brick up. Right. And they're going to be spamming colony the whole time. I was really surprised that was not mentioned in the update. They were going to, because they're nerfing the amount of rockets you pick up. When you pull power, you're only going to get one rocket this time. Right. But the respawn timers for power ammo has been decreased, so there's going to be lots of power because they want to kind of mix it up. I'm just wondering how's it all going to play out? They're tweeting out, John Wisniewski and those guys in their playtest. It's looking good. It seems like they're anxious to have us all try it out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's funny. You watch that video that they put out of the new update. And you see Dylan. Was it Dylan, or at least I know he put the video out. Get like 4 or 5 sniper shots, But you almost wonder, is it the maps maybe that even kind of just make you not want to snipe? Like at least it seemed like in D1, like we had maps that were built for 6v6, so they were just bigger maps in general. So you had like these longer sight lines. The maps in D2 just seem more confined just in general. And there's maybe a few maps maybe you could possibly use a sniper, but it just doesn't seem like in the end it'll ever be the best option. Of course, you're going to have the guys that are just ridiculous with the snipers, and it doesn't matter. They can no-scope you and you're done no matter what. But I just wonder how much of even if they give us the ammo and make the because they told us the whole glitch with the scopes and all that, when they fix all of that, is that still going to make sniper a viable option for just an average player, or is it still going to be like, hey, I'm still going to just go ahead and just use my rocket because that's going to work great, or hell, I'll use the colony, or I'll use even a grenade launcher. And I think you might be onto something though, saying that, and it's not just you, Sean. People are going to start collecting snipers because who knows, it may be great. So yet again, I don't think New Monarchy is going to get a win again, man. Like,
because right now the raid sniper, I was about to say Wrath of the Machine, because I see I'm Skull. I don't know why I see I am Skull-ass in chat right now, and I thought of Siva, Hive, whatever. The Leviathan raid sniper has the fastest ADS, and it's one of those quick firing snipers. So lots of ammo. I believe one headshot is a kill on it. So I think most people are going to want to use that thing. But I've collected a bunch that are sitting in my vault that I never use. I'll just go out on Twitter and say, hey, PvP pros. I know one of them is called the Single Clap, I think, was saying that they like that a lot for PvP. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. My biggest worry is the colony. If it's every map is just nonstop, everyone, those stupid little spiders and the noise they make.
Didn't they mention something about the colony in the last TWAB? Not this one.
They weren't doing. I think they said they're not doing. Well, they mentioned it saying they're not doing any. Like they mentioned some of the exotics that they said they're not changing. I think something like Wardcliff Coil's one of them. Merciless.
But I think they were saying that due to the changes that they're making to other weapons, it will make that weapon not as OP.
Okay.
What? Didn't they? I swear to God, I read that somewhere.
Well, they said basically the changes will that they didn't need to nerf a bunch of weapons in order because the way things are playing out with how the economy of ammo is going to work, that some weapons just they didn't need a change or a nerf or anything like that.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the faction rally itself, because this is going to be the last faction rally, of course, of Season 2. So this is your last chance to earn the ornaments in Season 2. However, they did also announce that after this, they're taking time off to work on making the event even better. And he says,
vacation.
Spoke with the season teams about their goals for the upcoming faction rallies, improvements planned for Season 3. So here's what they had to say. And here's some of the goals they're looking to get towards. They want pledging to a faction to be a more meaningful choice. They want rewards not to be time gated. They think you should be able to get them whenever. Faction rallies should provide a unique gameplay experience and not simply be a reward layer on top of the already existing game, which is kind of where it is now. The event should grant additional insight into the faction lore and goals, and it should build upon the player interest in lost sectors and armor ornament objectives. I think this is everything everybody's kind of been complaining about from the very beginning of the faction rallies, right? It was just like, what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah. I mean, like, the more they encourage us to do all the activities in the game, I think is better for faction rallies. Like the last one, I just farmed Titan. To me, that was boring. I put on a podcast and I just farmed Titan, the Lost Sector at the rig. I think, and I just farmed it over and over and over until I got enough to get enough tokens to get all the pieces of gear. I'd rather than put something in where I can't do that, but hold on before people jump down my throat, but give us reasons to go do every activity in the game. When you play Crucible, you barely get any faction tokens. They need to bump up the amount of tokens, I would think, that that faction that you get from completing or either winning or losing. But also maybe throw in a quest or two or something within each. Like if you pledge allegiance to a faction, you get a specific quest that maybe leads to something. What if? Okay, you know what would really make things interesting? What if they had faction rally exotics, right? And depending on which faction won, you could get that exotic, or you could get a quest that would lead to an exotic or something.
Lead to that, yeah, that would be cool.
What if you could only get that exotic if you were pledged to that faction?
Yeah, I mean, that's how it should be, man.
Well, wait, well, it should, but can you imagine the outrage for the 2/3 of people that didn't pledge to that faction and they can't get it at all, and now other players have an exotic that they can't get? Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Well, I mean, I wonder, man, when he says, make the event more unique, we know 6v6 is coming. From the original reveal of Destinies we saw on the app, it said Faction Wars, and we've talked countless times. Everybody said it. Why aren't we actually fighting Faction Wars? If we have 6v6, that's 12 players on a map. That could be, what, 3 teams of 4? Bam, there you go, 4v4v4, let's go. That's a faction war, and when you pledge it, that's all you can do, and bring the faction war to the friggin' Crucible, man.
Like, this makes me want to go back into our archives and find out when exactly that I said exactly what you just said.
Caleb, we said it in episode 1, dude, the reveal trailer, literally Guardian Radio episode 1, it was on that app when the guy opens his phone and it says Faction Wars, and everybody's like, okay, so we're going to pledge a faction and literally fight PvP, like that's just assumed, and it's never happened. Why?
No.
That's the most no-brainer thing that should be in it, man. And I think that would bring so many people in, and then layer on top of that, Sean, like you said, exotic. With it, making that pledge to the faction would be so much more meaningful, man. At that point,
because Cassie Underwood just said in chat, what about faction exotic? Remember the faction exotic class items from Destiny 1? Where you could wear it with other exotics and get bonus.
Absolutely. I had that dead orbit butt towel flying all day long, baby. I did.
I was Future War Cult all Destiny. Well, I was New Monarchy for the first half a year of Destiny 1, and then I went all Future War Cult for the rest because they had the cool weapons, man.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see what they do. I just, I'm fine with them taking a break because the way it's set up now, it's cool, it's kind of fun, but it's just like I think when they point it out here in the update, it really kind of glares when it says they're just putting a reward layer on top of the already existing game. They're not really giving you anything to do. So I think it's going to be definitely. Hopefully a good step in the right direction, whatever it is they choose to do.
It definitely needs a rework. It's good in theory. A monthly event that involves competing with factions, and we're wondering they got to incentivize us, create something we can do that requires you to do everything within the game, and come up with better rewards. Guys, come up with better rewards because the perks on some of the guns. I mean, I don't use any of the faction guns. I don't think.
Right.
Even that one that's kind of like the Manananan Scout Rifle, which has Rampage on it. I tried it in PvP. That explosive payload on the Manananan is still just better.
Dude, every time you say Manana, I think Sesame Street.
Manana. In the studio, that's all they were doing.
God, it's all
so great. Let's move on here to the Nightfall, and they basically acknowledge here in the update that they know there is some Nightfall glitching happening, but they do point out that it's accepted for now. So this isn't going to be something that is going to carry forward. But
this is kind of like the laser tag weekend we had.
Right.
Like they're like, okay, we know this is broken, go for it. Same thing. They're like, okay, we know this is broken, and you can boost your score. Go have at it until we fix it. Go.
Yep. Now I just want to point out, and this is carrying forward again, the top 3 scores, all from PC.
Yep.
Just saying, I know a lot of people are like, oh, PC, master race, console, all that. Well, so far the PC and these high scores, man, they've been the master race. So
I got to point something out though. So something that you're right, but something that I want to point out. So PC is also the only community that wasn't in Destiny 1.
Right. So
they are now just diving into Destiny 2, and we've been getting a lot more entries into the clan spotlight for PC. As a matter of fact, we got another one coming today,
which is awesome.
And the PC community is growing where the console community has been shrinking because the PC console hasn't been
jaded.
What's jaded is a good word of what they had in D1 because they didn't have D1.
Exactly.
So now look at this. Here's the PC community, and they're crushing it, and they're growing. And I've got a clan that I'm going to spotlight in the clan spotlight in a little bit that has almost 100 members, and they trimmed it down to get to there.
Yep.
So it's one of those things that it goes to sentiment. It goes to what you think and like how you're thinking about the game. Your perception is your reality, and it's just proven, I think, here.
Yeah. I think to some extent you're right, and you could say that the PC population has grown at some point, but I think when you hear people and the horror stories of what's happening in the Crucible over there, which again, this is PvE, that's a whole separate thing.
Right.
But it sounds like PvP, it's your matchmaking times are rough. Like nobody is
playing. Now,
hang
on.
I don't know.
I gotta point some out. So I gotta say real quick. So I didn't have it. So my kids were on spring break last week, excuse me. So I didn't get to play the week before. I was really busy. But this last week I was home because my youngest, she can't be home by herself. So I stayed home last week. So on Tuesday, thank God that reset is now at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. The only thing that I wanted, finally. Right, and the only thing that I wanted out of Iron Banner was the pulse rifle.
Yes.
So I needed 60 tokens. I had 0 tokens. Hadn't played a lick of Iron Banner because I didn't have time. But on Tuesday morning, I got up and I said, you know what? Let's go dive in there and see how long it takes me to get 60 tokens and get that pulse rifle. I was solo queuing the entire time. I had no problem matchmaking, and I only lost 2 games. And I bought that pulse rifle by noon, and I didn't. Yep. I started at 10, so it took me 2 hours. And in 2 hours, I did all that. Got 60 tokens. Only lost 2 games. Wrecked face. Had a blast. Bought the pulse rifle. So I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to the next Iron Banner where it's going to be 6s. But I had a blast.
I told you that, man. Even me too. Like, I think people need to just jump back in and play. Like a lot, if you haven't played,
it's fun. Yeah.
I cannot wait for the update, man. The 27th is like on my calendar. Like I can't wait just to see how different the game is going to feel, how much quicker it's going to be at that point. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm really
because like I have close to like 600 hours played, right? Yeah, no lifer there. So when I play strikes, when I play PvP, I check everyone's power levels. So for people saying this game's dead, I'm calling Bravo Sierra on that. The tower is always full. Matchmaking for strikes and PvP is always lickety split. Yep. It's just that the vocal minority of the PvP Twitch streamers, they took off for Fortnite. So everyone's like, dead game, or whatever to say. There's still a lot of people playing this. And at the core, in my opinion, the core experience of Destiny 2 is shoot aliens and get stuff, right? Shoot aliens and get loot. PvP comes on the side. You know what I mean? That's what I think the game revolves around. I think the more they cater to us, I do both, but I prefer PvE more than I do PvP. The more that they cater to PvE and loot and cool things to actually grind for, the better off the game's going to be just in general. But to your point with the Iron Banner thing, also, you've got those daily challenges, your daily milestones. Yep. One thing we talked about last week, and I got a number of tweets on it, was we missed having that tangible bounty in our inventory where we had to go to the tower, we had to go see either Shaxx or Zavala or whoever, grab a bounty and say, all right, I got to go to the Ember Caves or Citadel and do this, right? I mean, for the first 2 months of Destiny, I didn't realize when I flew into IO, 3 milestones pop up. You know what I mean? Like, and you get a whole bunch of bonus rep, basically. Tokens are the same thing as rep. Like, people don't realize tokens are the same thing as rep, except you can use them on all 3 characters, right?
Correct.
You want to get something on your Titan, but your hunter is all leveled up and everything. Just grind out your hunter, transfer the tokens are already in your inventory, like for your Titan. But I feel like maybe take out the daily milestones or even the weekly ones and put them as bounties. Like, put them in the inventory where you have a tangible thing that you can go check on rather than just seeing it on the side of your screen when you fly into that destination zone,
Yeah.
So,
let's talk about the roadmap. And we know we're 1 week away from 1.1.4, which we were just saying we're super excited for. However, there have been some changes moving forward. So it says late in development, they discovered a major issue that were impacting heroic strike modifiers, which is something a lot of people were looking forward to. And they're changing the design to fix the issue meant by pushing heroic modifiers out to 1.2.0.
Which is May.
Yep, which would be the May one. But they said they will be able to use the extra time to add more variety than what was the original plan.
Now again, this goes to transparency, right? Yep. So we've always hey, look, people have called us, Bungie shills for defending them and blah blah blah. But guess what? It's not that easy to make video games. Just so you know,
it's not. Can't they just flip a switch?
Yes.
Flip a switch. They're so lazy over there. Can't they flip a switch to fix something?
Dial a few things up and you go. But so it's cool that they're saying,
I made a Super Nintendo. I just did it.
There it is. Perfect. So they're saying, look, we in doing this, and they're trying to obviously meet the deadlines that they put forward. But they've said to us at the very first one of those roadmaps, they said, we're going to be transparent. We're going to tell you as we go along, but we can't promise that all of these things are going to come on time because things pop up. Hey, lo and behold, look out. Something popped up. Instead of a bug getting delivered, they're going to fix it and back it up. This is a smart thing to do because we can't really have many missteps. Look, they're not going to be perfect, but you can't have many missteps going forward because there's already enough with the community the way that they're being. But so I think this is a really smart thing for them to do. Say, look, we found a bug. In order for it to be what we want it to be, we're going to back this up a little bit. Sorry for the delay, but it's going to be right when we do it. And I think that's the right way to go. So that's just my opinion.
Definitely.
Plus, he also put in there, he said, but we will be able to use the extra time to add more variety than was in the original plan. When I covered this in my news video the other day, I said, listen, the basic modifiers that came with the original Nightfalls for the timed Nightfall strikes, not that interesting. If we think back to D1, we had some awesome ones like Small Arms, Specialist, there was a Light Switch, Trickle, so many ones. Bring back, I mean, when Small Arms was active, that was my favorite week to grind heroic strikes because that means my Fatebringer, my Wounded, my Vision of Confluence, everything was doing just crazy damage, Or if it was a week where it was Specialist, I was pulling at that Black Spindle or my Ex Machina because it was going to do heavy damage on the boss. I think they need to just say, you know what, maybe take some of those perks that we, modifiers that we had from Destiny 1, bring them into those heroic strikes. That was a fun thing every week was logging in and seeing, okay, is it Specialist again? Because I remember towards the end of Destiny 1, it was Specialist every other week or every week it felt like. It was the same one. And I was waiting for Small Arms to come back. So I hope they use this time to get a little bit more creative because I'll tell you right now, people may not agree with me. I love doing Nightfalls now. Nightfalls are fun again.
They are.
The slam dunk is when they add loot to it. And if they add loot to it, but right now I feel like everything has kind of been given to us very easily within Destiny 2, correct? But if they make it so that you got to do the Nightfall over and over, and maybe it's tied to score, maybe it's tied to those variant emblems, because I mean on one Nightfall strike, we all got 2 of them or whatever, and this and that. On the other ones or whatever, and this and that, you had to. None of us got the like the emblem variant. So that made us want to go and do it over and over and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
So
now, do we know it's what Nightfall exclusive loot is coming before Strike specific loot, or are they going to be tied at all? Or
We haven't heard anything about heroic strike specific loot. Okay. It's just nightfall strike specific loot.
Okay.
And that they want to give him more time. Because Chris Barrett said in I think 2 TWABs ago that he wants to give the artists more time to really make them cool, which means these are not going to be reskins. You know, they're going to be different. I'm hoping they have some different perks. I hope they sound different, look cool. Remember when Rise of Iron Banner hit? They completely revamped the sounds, looks of all the Iron Banner weapons when Rise of Iron came out. That was a drastic change. I really hope they start going that route, even with the next DLC in May, which we get, which now we don't know. Is it Gods of Mars or is it the Fallen Warmind?
I don't know, man.
I hope the new loot pool is not reskins. It's different looking weapons. The last update, the last DLC, they changed a lot of the weapon sounds, pulse rifles, auto rifles. They did that in Destiny 1 too, because I remember my Shadow Price sounded different after the Dark Below came out. So if they could add new unique weapons and kind of move away from what we're used to in Destiny 1, where all those Suros pulse rifles look the same, the auto rifles all kind of look the same, and move into some, kind of artsy, weird looking weapons, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's something to point out. So we've talked about this before. We're asking for different weapons and different this, that, and the other thing, but there's only so much you can do with a gun. You know what I mean? Like we have these different, we have hand cannons, we have snipers, we have shotguns, we have all these different things, and then we have different perks. It's like, it's so hard to come up with imagine just trying to come up with 10 brand new weapons that have new perks that aren't OP, that are balanced. Like, this stuff is not that easy. And I wouldn't
want that job.
I know, right?
It's a hard job. And we've gotten so many freaking weapons. And I get, like, in other games that loot just rains everywhere and it's ridiculous. But a lot of them are just the same gun, just looks different.
Yeah.
So, but they make every gun different.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, man. Like, if you want to get a new gun with a new perk or a new whatever it is, and then it's not broken, that's not so easy.
You know what, Caleb? I want to say, like, from the time that I've spent talking to Bungie people, there's actually 2 different people. One person models the weapon, and there's another guy who makes it, what is it going to look like when you aim down the sights in the HUD? It's like 2 different teams, essentially, to kind of work. I mean, they're obviously working in tandem, but it's like, okay, here's this great gun, and it's like, okay, well, what's it going to look like when you look down the sights in the HUD? What is that going to look like? What is that going to look like when it's in your hands, and then when you pull it up? Like, it's totally, so you have to make sure at least it's still going to look okay that way. So there's a lot that goes into making weapons, man. And, I think the way being that it's a shooter, that even adds just another layer to it. World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, you can have a million different freaking axes, but you're almost going more cosmetic and just kind of building in these little perks. Where when it comes to the guns, you want those guns to really feel different, play different in both a PvE setting, both a PvP setting. So it just adds so much more complexity to creating these weapons, man.
Somebody's saying in chat, give me, I don't need a new weapon, I just want it to look different. Well, that's not what we want. I don't want the same weapon that looks different. Yeah. I've had that. That's AS Luna versus Hawkmoon. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Well, it goes back to, somebody put it in the chat earlier too about the Diablo loot drop. Right. That's the one, and that's even kind of why people like Warframe to some extent, is when you get those new weapons, it changes the way you play. So you can, people play Destiny for 700 hours.
Right.
Many of those people are God, more than that, but a lot of those people played with different weapons kind of throughout because it changes your gameplay up a little bit. They had different perks, different things happening when you played, and that's what people like. Where if it's just a reskin, it does kind of stink. But I don't know, man. I'm glad I'm not part of that team at all, and kudos to them for
a tough job,
being able to pull anything out, man. And nobody's ever
go real quick. Right? Go through this calendar that's coming up. By the way.
Yeah, for 1.14 and then 1.2. So 1.14, weapon ability sandbox changes. We're going to get Iron Banner 6v6. Weekly Crucible playlist is going to, and we'll get into this because it's going to change every week. Mayhem Rumble, Crucible ammo and gameplay tuning, Crucible quitter penalties, repeat. This is a big one for me. Repeat Crucible map and strike protection.
Yes.
First off, in strikes, if I get that Taken Blight strike one more time, I'm going to shoot myself. And when we play the Osiris playlist, Distant Shores comes up every freaking map,
By the way, hang on. I want to comment on that.
Is that the one with the ship, the Exodus Black that crashed? That's not that one, is it?
No,
you fight like the mini Skolas at the end, dude. I hate
that's an annoying strike.
The one,
yeah, that's an annoying strike.
Dude, whenever I spawn into it, I hate to say it, I leave. I just
You're
leave.
one of those who bail on me, man.
right at the beginning, Sean. Right at the beginning, so you got enough time. That'll backfill.
All right,
man.
all right.
I hate
Yeah, we'll
that
fill
shit.
So a similar
Can't
thing
stand
happens
it.
in PvP, by the way.
Yes.
So in my little experiment that I did with Iron Banner this week, I noticed that. So I typically I'm not like a person that just stays in queue. Like I'll play a game, I'll get out, I'll go, get a water, I'll go back in. Like I can't just stay in PvP for 20 matches straight. I'll kill myself. So I have to like do it in spurts. So I'll do 2 matches, I'll leave, I'll come back. But at one point in time, I'm like, okay, I'm running low on time. I'm at like 36 tokens. I got to get to 60. All right, I better just stay loaded up and go. And then it started getting to, because it was always the couple maps that I knew really, really well, the remakes of a couple different matches or maps, excuse me. And then it started getting to different ones the longer I stayed in. And so then I backed out to get back to, they front loaded the most popular maps on anytime that you loaded into a PvP. So if you first time loaded into PvP, you're usually getting what's the map that we loved from D1 that is so
Lost
brilliant?
Shores? Is that what it's called?
Distant Shores?
Distant
Distant
Shores.
That's it.
Right. There was like 2 or 3 maps that if it was your first time loading in, you were guaranteed to get one of those 3 maps. And then the longer you stayed in, it went to the farther down maps. And it was just funny to see that, because I always dropped out and I kept getting Distant Shores, which is my favorite map in the history of Destiny, which is great. And that's probably why I was wrecking face. But because I knew the map, because map knowledge is huge in PvP. Yeah. It's everything. So, but then at the end, I'm like staying in, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't really know this map that well. I kind of know it. I remember going over here and hiding in this spot and wrecking people. But it's like one of those things where it's whatever algorithm that they're using for matchmaking is probably the same as PvP as it is for PvE. So it's going to be interesting to see how that changes, if it does. But I absolutely agree with you, Mark. Dude, when you get to some of those things and you keep getting the same thing over and over and over,
it's frustrating.
It's because they have that at the top of the playlist when you first load in.
Mm-hmm.
So just an observation. I thought it was interesting.
Yep. So they're from Exotic Repetition Reduction, Nightfall Strike Unique Rewards, and then Companion Vendor Viewing. Now, the schedule is going to go like this. Starting March 27th, the weekly Crucible playlist will become available to all. You don't have to have the DLC. This playlist will contain Rumble, Mayhem, and 6v6 Iron Banner to start. Here's the calendar. March 27th, Rumble. April 3rd, Mayhem. April 10th, Iron Banner. April 17th, Rumble again. April 24th, Mayhem. May 1st,
Rumble,
Iron Banner.
Mayhem, Iron Banner, Rumble. Which, hey, the
Banana,
first one, they're kicking
April
it off
10th.
with Rumble, man.
Real quick, I got to chime in on the Rumble thing.
Rumble.
A lot of people, listen, they're screaming, why can't all of these game modes have their own playlists everywhere? Look, it would be a nightmare if they put all of the different game modes at every single week, because you'd have some playlists completely empty, some completely full. That's why at the end of Destiny 1, they rotated them every week for at least, I think it was 4 or 5 of them or something like that, right? Sometimes it was Supremacy one week, sometimes it was Control the next week. It was either Skirmish one week or it was Salvage the week after. They're doing this because, guys, if they had all of those just laid out every single week, we would have lag. We would have connection issues, in my opinion, I think. Look, I would love Rumble to be there every week, too, because I loved Rumble. That's how I would warm up in the Crucible. But you know what? I like that they're rotating it, because I'll play the heck out of Rumble one week. Then on April 3rd, I'm going to be excited because I'm annoying Night Stalker, Tether, Orpheus, Rig guy for Mayhem. I'll be playing Mayhem all week, shutting everyone's supers down. And then Iron Banana is April 10th, which is 6v6. Rumble comes back. Rumble's going to be 8 players. So to me, that's different activities to make each week interesting. I have something to look forward to, because if I'm playing Rumble all week, I'm probably going to get bored with it by the end of the week, you know? I'm like, all right, Rumble's gone, on to Mayhem. All right, I'm done annoying everyone with my tethers. Let's go play some 6v6 Iron Banner. So I think it's a smart move to not only cure some boredom, but also to help with matchmaking and lag.
Right. I mean, it just populates the playlist, man. I mean, and it almost makes it an event, even though it's not really, there might not be a lot of things tied to it. It's just, this is what people are playing this week. And because that was one of the joys of the original Destiny was, what's the Nightfall this week? What's, going in every time saying, okay, what do I need to do this week? What are we all doing in the game? And just doing something as simple as that, I think, is great.
Oh, by the way, for the troll that's in chat, if you didn't read the development roadmap, private matches are coming in May at 1.
Yeah, May,
yes, and that's
read
the
the
other
update.
thing. Yeah, so if you're looking to do this, get your buddies together starting in May. Private matches coming to everyone, to make that a point, because a lot of people are thinking, it's just going to be tied to the DLC. No, it's coming to everyone at that point. But again, the big thing that's not there anymore, man, which, I think it's because they're totally revamping the system. Sean, you may be right about the random rolls. I don't know, but the mods 2.0 has been pushed. I don't think we're going to see that until we see the fall expansion. But you know what they could do, rather than have the random rolls, they could just make those mods so much more meaningful. And so, and only put certain mods in certain strikes or in certain ways to get them. So you're going out and you're grinding for those mods to then put on the weapons of your choice.
Because, dude, like, you've got to We've got a gunsmith. Put him to use rather than just giving him parts. Make us go chase blueprints. Let's say you farm X amount of lost sectors. You have a chance at getting a blueprint of some sort of mod where you can put outlaw on your better devils or something like that, right? Yep. Or you can go do like certain strikes and then get these materials to maybe make a schematic for something. There's a lot they could do and take from the kind of RPG, like MMO games, which I'm not really familiar with. I'm just familiar with shooter games, but there's a lot of ways they can make Banshee more useful. Listen, Arms Day was one of my favorite video series from Destiny 1. 'Tis Arms Day. And it was fun because we all went nuts when he brought that full auto DIS 43 max stability, full auto DIS 47 max stability, God roll PDX 45. It made us log in every week to see what's Banshee going to bring this week, Yep. So.
All right. Well, I think that's it for the news this week, guys. Let's move on here to our clan spotlight, the part of the show where we give you a clan. Like Kate mentioned earlier, the PC clans are rolling on in. So if you want to have your clan spotlighted on the show, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, email us. feedback@theguardiansofdestiny.com. Be sure to put clan spotlight in there. And K-Dub, who do you got for us this week, man?
Man, I got another PC clan, and it was tough because I had some really cool people that applied for the clan spotlight, and I'll go back to them if we don't get other ones. But really, really cool stuff. So I wanted to spotlight this because the PC community has been growing. Look, we've always been a console, game. And everybody that's always listened to us has been either, PS4 or Xbox, or I should just say PlayStation or Xbox. It was PS3 when we started. Yep. So PlayStation or Xbox, so console. But the PC clan has been going crazy. So I wanted to spotlight these guys because, the thing that we all on this panel, I think, enjoy the most, although we enjoy PvP, is a PvE environment because we're clan people. We play with our friends, and that's what makes this game great, is playing with your friends. So the clan that I have tonight is called Leisure, and it's a PC clan. Nice. It says we're a raid clan on PC. Always have been focused on endgame content and having fun with friends. Group of raiders founded the clan because we love the raid. We are constantly doing the raid and usually have 1 to 2 fire teams doing the raid each and every night.
Nice.
But are looking to grow that number. We love the community and are willing to teach those who need help. Let me read that sentence again. We love the community and are willing to teach those who need help. Currently 80 to 100 people in the clan. We at one point had over 150 members, but have since trimmed down the member count to maintain active-only members. PC only, must have Discord. We are very active and looking to grow our PvP community, but mainly focused on endgame PvE content, doing mainly raids, including Prestige. So they're looking for, if you're on PC and you're a PvP specialist, they're looking to grow the PvP side of it. So help them out. But if you're a PvE person and you're on PC and you want to get your stuff rocking and rolling, the contact is Malekith, Malakith. The battle.net tag is Malekith, Malakith, hashtag 1583. So Malekith, hashtag 1583. Or join the Discord link, which this is going to be kind of goofy because I'm saying a link, but it's https://discord.gg/M small v capital H, or excuse me, I'm going to say that again, /M small v capital H, capital S small k.
Nice.
I know that's ridiculous to try and read that, but contact Malekith #1583 on BNet, and they'll hook you up. So it's a really cool PC clan. They're PvE specialists. They're looking for more PvP people to join to the clan, and they sound like a really fun group of people that just like to have fun and play the game.
Definitely.
So,
again, so email us feedback at theguardiansofdestiny.com if you want your clan spotlighted here on the show. Just tell us a little bit about it, and of course, give us a way to contact you guys too, or for people to contact you. I mean, to join up. So, all right, let's move on here to our final segment of the show, the part of the show where we get you involved, that we call Messages from the City. All right, well, don't forget, email us feedback at theguardiansofdestiny.com, just like Josh from Chicago did. And he said, hey, GR crew,
Josh.
I wanted to get some faction rally frustrations off my chest. I'm very much enjoying the grind for ornaments for all the factions and love seeing new weapons for my favorite archetypes. He says, Vice City all day. But I can't get over how butthurt Bungie is about FWC not winning any rallies yet. I don't care if they never win. The whole point of the event is to let the community decide which faction we like best, and for whatever reason, shape
right.
weapons, armor, lore. He says Bungie's continued tampering with the featured weapon selection to make FWC weapons a more popular archetype or give the other factions the bottom of the barrel. He said grenade launchers, pulses, etc. is dumb. It should always be the same type weapon being featured for all three factions, like when they all had the autos. I know this is a long email, but feel free to exclude this part. I'm reading it. He says, I also think that while I appreciate being able to get any weapon that may not have won the featured contest during the previous rally, I kind of wish they made weapons more exclusive to make them more meaningful. I might even be on board with only the winning faction getting their weapons and only for the 1 week following a rally. I don't know, maybe that's extreme, but the weapons would be more meaningful that way. Maybe even make it a guaranteed masterwork. Thank you guys for continuing to do the show weekly. It's a highlight of my week, and I look forward to your thoughts on the Go Fast update. Cheers, Guardians. Josh from Chicago, a human hunter, parentheses master race, he says. That's not me saying that. That's him saying that.
I tried. I didn't delete that part, but
what do you guys think? I mean, imagine that if they just said,
Brilliant.
if you win, that's the only faction that can get the weapon, and it's only that week. I mean, it would make it meaningful.
We talked about it earlier. That's kind of what we were saying. Like that would be a coolest thing. Like if you make it so it's not only that, but make it an exotic. I mean, make it so freaking. Can you imagine if there's an exotic weapon? There's 3 exotic weapons, and only the people that were part of that faction won the exotic. I mean, oh my God, people would lose their minds.
Yeah,
it'd be so funny.
I definitely agree. Especially with what he was talking about towards the end about, you know what, if you pledged allegiance to a faction and they win, you can get that weapon. Not the whole buy it for 50,000 glimmer, because anyone could farm glimmer all day long if they want. You know, make, like I said, make it a guaranteed masterwork. Give more incentives. You know, I think faction rallies, like I said before, it's a good idea. You know, like in theory, it just needs to be reworked in terms of activities to do to complete it. Add a little more competition, because it is a PvE event. I mean, there is PvP as a part of it, but add a PvP component to it. You know what I mean? What if you had a matchup where like future war cult people had a matchup with New Monarchy people, and that'd be a little weird if you're in a lobby and your friend is future war cult, you're New Monarchy, and your other buddies, you know, Dead Orbit. But there's a lot of things they can do with this event. I don't think it's reached its full potential yet, which is, I guess that's why it's going back on the drawing board for a little bit until they can, you know, kind of tweak it a little bit.
I'm really excited to see what they come back with, because, you know, is it going to be slightly different, or is it going to be drastically different? I honestly hope it's drastically different.
Too, man.
Me too, man.
And even if it's erroneous, drastically different. Give us something to talk about. Give us something to give them feedback on. Give us something to go, holy crap, that's new and fresh and awesome, and I didn't think of it that way, and this is great, and I'm excited. That's what I'm hoping for.
For sure. Let's see, next email comes to us from Rusty, and he says, hey guys, had a great idea and was wondering what you think. Do you think Destiny could benefit from having a Battle Royale mode in Destiny?
This is an amazing question.
Think about it. You could use an area such as the EDZ and drop 50 or so Guardians around the world. A Warsat drops in. You need to capture it. They will drop in different locations in a 20-minute match, and the Guardian who captures the most would win. You could have different game modes. He said like a no light mode, 1 life standard battle royale mode with no Warsats, a faction mode where 20 members from each faction drop in and it's team based. The winning faction gets 20 tokens compared to the losing team's 5. And at the end of the week, the faction that gets the most Warsats wins. And capture the flag mode where you need to collect it and take it to a different part of the EDZ. He says, think of the Sparrow use, sniper campers, and all the chaos that would ensue. God. What do you guys think?
So that right there sounds like fun. You take it from me, kiddo. That sounds like fun to me.
Sean's not a big Fortnite guy. We get it, and they
liked it. I'm
and just so everybody knows, to Sean's benefit, they've literally asked him to cover Fortnite, and he has not. So the point, and we know very, very well the people at Epic Games. They're amazing people, and they're awesome. So we have nothing against them. I think that this would be the most amazing idea, but the stupid backlash that would happen with the community saying that they're copying something, PUBG. It would be ridiculous. The funny thing is, what you're talking about was copied from another game.
Yeah,
that's what's funny. So, but in reality, if it wasn't met with a huge stupid backlash, this would be the most amazing game.
It'd be a lot of fun.
That would be a fun
all of Destiny, and if the community would actually support it, it would explode.
I mean, like picture that, like the EDs. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is Halo 5 has a mode, and I'm sure guys in the chat can tell me what it's called, but it's basically, I think it's 3 teams. It's either 2 or 3 teams, and you're doing your typical Halo thing where you're running around. There's bases, but there's AI on the map. And so as you're playing, it pulls in, bosses, and a boss will spawn on the map. And the team, everybody can go and meet up over there and either fight it together, which never happens, of course. They start fighting each other, but they're all battling to take out these PvE creatures. And usually the matches are like 30 minutes, and they're playing to a massive score. And you get points by killing the enemy, or you get points by taking out the big bosses on the map. There's all different things that you can do. And to me, Destiny, a mode like that in Destiny, I think would work better than a Battle Royale. Like, Battle Royale is just...
It'd be so amazing.
It's fun, dude, but like a game like that would... that's in the idea of... War Zones. That's what it's called. You put it in the chat,
yes,
War Zones.
War Zones. Right.
That's what I think would just fit Destiny perfect. We already have these massive patrol zones. Put 20 Guardians in there. Give us that. Like, that's what we want, man. I think that would be great.
I mean, because I could just picture like the EDZ and stuff, like the map starts shrinking, right? Like Fortnite, and it shrinks down to the Tross land. You got people hiding in lost sectors, trying not to be found. You know what I mean? To be the winner. It would be a fun thing. You're right. It would be a fun thing, but I just don't see them doing it. And at the same time, they'd get a lot of backlash, I think,
So imagine this. So with the gameplay of Destiny, so I love Striker Titan. Everybody knows that Mark and I are Titans. But with a lightning grenade, and that thing is getting smaller and smaller, and you have to go into a building, and I throw a lightning grenade against a wall, and it's just going blam, blam. I don't care where you are. That thing's blasting your ass. And you got to jump out and go, nah, now I know where you are. It would be so much fun with the different gameplay mechanics of Destiny, whether it be a lightning bolt grenade or a firebolt grenade or whatever it is. It would, golly, smoke grenades, and people come out and they're stunned. Oh my gosh.
Skip grenades too.
Skips. Well, skips got to know where they're tracking. If they're hidden, they don't know where they're tracking. But regardless, it's like, oh my gosh, it would be so crazy. It would be, the funny thing is, it would be completely different because the gameplay mechanics with Destiny are nothing like the gameplay mechanics of those other 2 games that do that kind of a game mode. And I think it would completely change how that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no building. You're not building things. You're not making a fort. You're not making a wall. None of that, right? It would, golly, it would be really cool.
It would be cool, man.
I would love it.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Let's see. Next email comes to us from Buko. Buko, you think Bucho? Buko 16.
I got Buko 16, yeah.
Buko 16.
You got Bucho?
From what's that movie? Desperado.
Bucho 16. And it's in regards to Masterwork Armor. And he says, while having the damage reduction while in a super is nice, I can't help but feel that more could be done with Masterwork Armor. What do you think about Masterwork Armor having a secondary mod slot? This would allow for more customization of character, more ability uptime, grenades melee in your class, or more opportunity to min-max your stats. It would also make mobility armor possibly more effective by being able to stack recovery or resilience mods, making it more feasible to prestige content. For example, my raid set all rolled as mobility, and it would be nice to be able to stack recovery or resilience onto it as well as have the raid perks. I know you can reroll Masterwork Armor, but adding a second mod slot would potentially negate this need somewhat and allow for more customization overall. Lastly, would add a carrot to the Masterwork Armor chase. Of course, this may be pointless with mods 2.0, but in the meantime, it could be a nice addition. Right. Interested in hearing your thoughts. Bucho 16 on PS4.
Shawnee, you take that one first.
I think it's a really good idea. I mean, like, if you've noticed, when the game first came out and we saw those little squares, right? The little boxes for either shaders, your modifications or anything like that. There's a lot, I think, that within this engine that they're using for Destiny 2 that they could really throw things in and stuff like that. And
I agree.
I think that's what's on their table right now is, all right, let's test out Masterworks, right? We love it because we generate orbs and we're getting more supers when we're playing the game, whether it's PvP or PvE. We're getting a reduction. Let's say I'm storm trancing ads in Nightfall or Raid and stuff. I'm a little more secure if I have the full set of Masterworks. Now just take it to the next level because we have all these little boxes that they could fill in with things, you know. But like I said, give us some more carrots to chase for Masterworks and let us become, you know, we all want to feel OP. That was, you know, like I would say the best fun was getting a new weapon, getting that random roll, or getting a raid weapon, and then going into the Cosmodrome and feeling like a god. You know what I mean? And just running around, shooting at things, and just, you know, just getting used to it, then wanting to take it into the Crucible. Whereas the weapons we've got now, there hasn't been that feeling of like, oh, like something has dropped, and now let me go test it out. And also because everything comes from, let's say for exotics, they come from exotic engrams, there's not that drop feeling of when you got your Galahorn or whatever, which is going to be cool with the Nightfall strikes, because these Nightfall unique rewards, I'm hoping they're going to be hard to get. They're not all just going to be dropped on us every time you play this Nightfall strike, because we'll be done with them in 5 weeks. But make them difficult and make them drop on the side of the screen. So if it's an amazing weapon, and you're like, oh my, you know, like bring us back to those reactions we had in Destiny 1 where you got that drop and you were excited rather than going to see Raul the Ghoul and just giving him an Ingram and praying, you know?
Yep.
So.
Let's see, we got one more email. This one comes to us from Space Ace 1978, and he says, "Hey Guardian Radio, really enjoying the show. I've been watching you guys on YouTube for a few months now, and I found you guys via Mesa's channel." He says, "Hey, I had this idea which I thought hasn't been mentioned before, but I thought it would spice gameplay up in the PvP and even PvE. It's simply this. What if Bungie would implement stormy weather? Let's say, for example, PvP, not Stormy Daniels. Let's say, for example, PvP Pacifica map, you could have acid rain randomly arrive outside, forcing players to battle inside for 20 to 30 seconds, causing you to risk your health, getting ammo outside, and causing mayhem inside. How about fog on Fortress, causing aiming a little harder to track? Leviathan, low gravity, causing players to jump crazy heights. This would be just some of the ways to make the game more interesting, I thought. In PvE, you could have sandstorms on Mars, lightning and rain in the EDZ. Nessus could be very windy because of Leviathan's impact trying to consume the planetoid. Anyways, thank you guys for the great work. You're doing all the best." Space Ace 1978. Well, Space Ace, thanks, man. Glad you found the show. I think this would be great. And you know what? If you think about it, there's the one, it's like the second to last story mission, I think, when you're heading up to the, what the hell's the name of the ship? Gaul's ship.
The Almighty.
The Almighty. And when you're going there, you have to hide because you're going to burn from the UV rays of the sun. So it's something similar to that, where there's this.
It's in the game. It's in the game.
So like they already have something like that. So like if they could bring that into patrol zones and just have it be random. I mean, even if it was just tied to public events, where it's just, you know, I mean, well, really, we have the one, what's the public event where you have to take out the, when the vents open, you can only stay in there for so long and you got to get out. Like if
the injection rig.
Yeah, just add things like that. I think it could totally spice it up. And if it was just random, or it just randomly happened in a mission or a strike, or just, again, just in the public spaces, I think it would be super cool, man. And you know, maybe the way the game's built now, they can't go back and add it, but now that we're getting the DLC in May, maybe that is something that would be on Mars. You know, we know we're going to have snow, right? I mean, that's kind of a given that we're going to have these snowy areas. I think that'd be neat, man. Just blizzard-like conditions that just randomly come in and completely change everything.
Because That does remind me of when Call of Duty Ghosts came out. The big thing was dynamic maps, right? Where certain parts of the maps, I forgot, this one map was like the one that they pitched the whole game with, where it was a gas station map. And part of it was like you could blow holes in walls, or you can take down the whole front of a gas station. Or this one map, you could call in a KEM strike, and a nuclear bomb would drop, wipe the entire team, and then the whole map was completely changed. You know, it was basically called like dynamic map effects or something like that. But right. I think it's a great idea. I think, you know,
I really like the weather effects, and we've had a little bit of this. It's not as dramatic as like what was the map that I'll never mind. I'm not going to go there because I'm not going to think of it. There was a map in the we think it was in Germany. One of the PvP maps, and it was like really long distance, and it would literally be so long distance that you couldn't see
Widow's Court.
Widow's Court, thank you very much. So on Widow's Court, there were areas that you could not snipe to because they were too far away because it got tinted with haze. So I absolutely think that this is doable, and I think this is a great idea. I don't know about the whole when rain comes down, we got to go inside type thing. But the part of whether it's foggy and you can't see as far, or different things that maybe make you act a different way and shoot a different way. If it's raining, you can't snipe from as far. Those type of weather effects, I would love. I don't know about it's acid rain, we got to go inside and let's all fight in this one building. While that's kind of a cool idea because it forces people to go into a certain small area and have mayhem, I get it. But then just whoever is set up for that gameplay is going to win. So you don't really want that. You want to be able to go in with any gameplay and be, successful. So I think it's just if you know going in that this environment may lend itself to this, that, or the other, and then you make your setup going in accordingly, you switch your loadout going in, that's fine. Or you switch your loadout in game, whatever. But I think it's a great idea to have weather effects as far as like a fog or a rain or something that makes visibility or different things a little harder. I'd be totally cool with that. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it, boys. So again, thank you everybody for the emails, for emailing us feedback at theguardiansofdestiny.com if you want to have your voice heard here on the show. And like we also said with the Clan Spotlight, if you guys are looking for new members, things like that, send them to us and be sure to put Clan Spotlight in the header because we want to spotlight some clans because a lot of people are saying, oh, my clan's left the game. Well, you know what? Maybe it's time to find a new clan, at least for now, even if it's just with the new Sandbox update coming out. We got the DLC coming in May. You're going to need people to play with. So if your friends aren't coming back, hey, find some new friends to play with if you still want to play the game right now here at the moment. But all right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for us this week.
Good do it.
Don't forget, check out our website, theguardiansofdestiny.com. You can find all our social links. Hit us up on Twitter at GuardiansofD. And again, we are now streaming to Sean's YouTube channel. So you can find the show, the archive version of the show there on Wednesdays. But if you want to be a part of the show, we're doing it live on Monday nights, typically at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes we're going to be a little bit later at 10. So just follow us on Twitter at GuardiansofD. It's the best way to keep in touch and know when we're going to be going live. And I will have the link to Sean's channel in the show notes if you want to be there live. For those of you that do want to tune in, it's been posted up a bunch of times in the Twitter chat. It's best to watch it on YouTube Gaming. Because it just looks better, right? I mean, you can watch it on Sean's.
It looks just
YouTube
like Twitch,
channel,
yeah. Because sponsors get to use all their emotes and everything, and it just looks so much awesome. It's like way more awesome.
Yep.
And
Sean has created some pretty hilarious little emotes or emojis of Caleb and myself and the Guardian Radio logo, which is great.
I put a Deej. Well, the thing is, we hit a milestone tonight, so YouTube gave me an extra emoji. So nice. I put up Deej now. Deej is in chat right now. He's here in spirit right now.
Awesome. So you guys got anything else you want to throw out here, or no?
Just want to do a. I think we should do a roundup of the new sponsors: Lee Alger, Cassie Underwood, Steve Dan, and also Joshua Darby, and everyone that's been in chat tonight, supporting my channel and Guardian Radio, Time Splitter for modding the whole night, and everyone that's in chat. You guys are absolutely awesome, man. Thanks. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you everybody here for tuning in and making us a part of your week, however you're tuning in, whether it's through YouTube, I would say Twitch, but I'm no longer going to say that, through iTunes, through Podbean, whatever. Thank you guys so much. And with that, we'll catch you next week. Later.
Hawkmoon, baby.
It's gonna lose again.
This needs to come back. Well, they need to make a, like, you know, they took Red Death and they made it into a hand cannon pulse rifle. They need to make a Hawkmoon scout rifle or something, like a scout rifle that has kind of like the Hawkmoon, you know, like elements to it or something like that. That would be pretty cool. Or the last word, make like the bad word or something like that. You know, like some sort of pulse rifle or something.
I see your hand cannon, Sean, and I got some Wolfpack rounds for you.
Oh, there he goes.
It's got the orange tip, though, man. It's so goofy looking, man.
You're outside, a police officer doesn't think you have a live Gallifreyan rocket launcher.
That's what I said to her. But honey, it's got the orange tip.
Oh, that's great. But yeah, guys and chat, thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. This was great. I mean, this is kind of why we came over here. You know, Sean's been constantly streaming here, you know, to his channel and just telling us how great the community he's built here on YouTube is. And so it's awesome. A perfect fit, you know, for us to come over. Hopefully, I've noticed a lot of names over in the chat coming from our old Twitch channel coming over.
Ed, OBX Boys.
Yeah, there. Ed's there. So we appreciate everybody stopping by. And I think it's going to be a new home for us here, and it's going to be a good fit for sure.
Fun. Absolutely,
so
no doubt.
Start having a lot of fun, and you know, I know all you guys tuning in here, you guys love Destiny just like we do. You know, we've been talking about. Caleb said it, I think 2 weeks ago, and it's really stuck with me, and I think everybody is that we're trying to just rebuild the Destiny community. You know, I mean, it's something that just kind of needs to be done, right? And it's crazy as it is.
Yep.
We say it like broken records. We say it like broken records. People forget. And I hate using the word, but it's true. The train wreck Destiny 1 was for a good year before the Taken King changed everything. We're in that stage where we're comparing a vanilla Destiny 2 to a game with 3 years of.
It's funny, Sean. I said something on Twitter the other day about being compared to it's going to be just like Destiny 1. And they misunderstood what I was saying. That I was saying like it was Destiny 1 that it kind of wasn't that great, and then it got great. It is the same thing with Destiny 2. And they're like, well, it shouldn't be like Destiny 1. It's like, no, dude, you don't understand the parallel that I'm making. Like, it's the same thing. It's going to get better, bro. You know what I mean? It's like all those things. Yeah. Okay, what are you going to do?
Oh, well. But, awesome. All right, stream. Well, guys, thank you so much.
All right, thanks for hanging out, guys.
See you guys next week. Later.